Hey guys, good evening from Singapore. I just finished the first day of our coaching sessions here, aimed to help kababayans trade the markets with ease and confidence. So now the market was red, the market was down, it continued its downward progression. But if there's one sign of good news, is that it still closed above 7,700. This is one good sign that is showing that there's some buying confidence. But until we break out of the trend line successfully, there is still no evidence of a reversal. So now I want to talk about 4 stocks that are progressing in its downward movements. 4 stocks that if you are a position trader, these are stocks that you must avoid until we see a reversal. And 1 stock which has started to bounce. Which are those stocks? Let's talk about them now. So by the way, I'm in Tanjong Pagar, traversing one of the parks that they have here now, which because of the rain this morning, it causes the temperature to be quite cooler. So it's quite a good walk at this point in time. So now let's go to the top stocks that you've requested. By the way, if you're new to this Facebook page or this YouTube channel, subscribe and like so you get updated with all of the content that we have here, because all of the things that I'm doing here is aim to do one thing: to help you trade the markets with ease and confidence, so that you get to use the stock market to help you reach your goals of financial freedom as well. So now let's go for stocks that are in a downtrend, stocks that are bearish, stocks that you must avoid first if you are a position trader. By the way, for those who are asking and you are a position trader, the goal of position traders is to follow trends, meaning if the trend is still down, the underlying movement of the trend or the market is still down, you avoid it and you either ride the trend or avoid the trend until you find and see something shift. Alright, so the first stock that's in a downtrend, let me pull up the stocks that we want to talk about. Number 1 is JG Summit. JG Summit is still in a downtrend. The potential downside for this will bring the stock possibly to 56. No, price and momentum oscillators for JG Summit is still bearish. There isn't any reversal signals yet. So if the downtrend will proceed further, a possible downward movement will bring JG Summit to 56 pesos per share. So let's see how that progresses. But as of this point in time, please stay away from JG Summit still. Next is DMC. What's interesting about DMC, it has strong strides, strong large red candles, denoting not just a trend that's shifting downward, but you have large selling that hasn't still subsided. I mentioned this in previous videos that it was hitting support levels. However, as it started to hit support levels, those support levels failed to hold. It even broke another support level today. So why am I saying this? Should the selling continue, should the downward pressure continue, a possible downside, a possible drop for DMC could bring it to around 10.3 pesos per share because of the breakdown from 10.6. Now, to add further fuel to that, if 10.3 does not hold because it's close to the 10.3 level already, please reference this possible downside will bring it to around 9.4 pesos per share. So you now have JGC and DMC, conglomerates which are not doing so well, conglomerates which are relatively bearish as of this point in time. The third stock is PLDT. The PLDT tail is in a downtrend with strong conviction of selling. However, PLDT at its closing around 1375 is close to its support level. So here's a couple of things that you need to watch. Watch out for that 1375 level. But please remember this, no, it's bearish. The trend is headed down. So there's still a larger selling pressure pushing the stock downward. I repeat, there's still a larger selling pressure pushing the stock downward. But should PLDT go up, it's primarily because it's floating right now at the 1375 support. So if it bounces on tomorrow, it's a good buy signal for quick traders. However, for position traders, no buy signal yet as of this point in time. Please avoid the stock until we see something shift. So now, one thing you need to consider is this: if it does not hold, it does not stay above 137, PLDT could retrace lower. It could go down to 1242, which gives you a larger downside still. So please avoid the stock until we see the reversal. Lastly, for stocks to avoid, East West Bank is still in a downtrend. You have to remember this. Someone asked this during our coaching session tonight. No, she said she she was buying and positioned into East West. I told her East West Bank was such a great stock last year, especially for position traders. The trend was up. However, the trend as of this point in time is broken. The stock is bearish. The stock has reversed from an uptrend into a downtrend. Plus, you add the stock dividend. You have to remember, I'm not a big fan of stock dividends. Whenever there's a stock dividend, the bearishness of the stock even prolongs, even gets increased. So East West Bank, avoid until you see a reversal. East West Bank, avoid until we see something shift. Here's the thing though, for East West Bank, East West Bank, yeah, failure to break out of 17.35 will bring the stock to 15.7. Again, the stock is close to the resistance right now. Failure to break that level will bring it back to 15.7. So here's what's interesting for East West Bank. Since the resistance is at 17.35, if it breaks out of 17.35, it possibly has a shot to go to 19.2 pesos per share. But if it fails to go to 19.2 pesos per share, East West Bank may drop to 15.7 for a quick trading scenario, for a short-term movement scenario. But from a trend scenario, no buy signal, avoid the stock as of this point in time. So for blue chip companies, or for the conglomerates is JG Summit, JG Summit, DMC, for two conglomerates. Then you have one banking stock and one telecom company. And now, one stock that has bounced, one stock that is doing well, one stock that, because it was sold down for a short period of time, it has now bounced. I'm talking about Bloom. Bloom bounced back. Bloom bounced from the support somewhere near 12. And what's nice about that is when you see stocks move past or bounce back from support levels, you will see amazing moves upward. So now, where is Bloom headed? For those that bought from the bounce at 12, possible target price, a possible movement up will bring Bloom to around 14.4 pesos per share. So for those who bought at 12, target price is 14 to around 14.4 pesos per share for the short term. So interesting, because Bloom, as compared to the other stocks, is moving sideways, is consolidating. And you all know, for those who attended our Stock Smart sessions, our technique for stocks that are sideways is to trade and just to plot our support and resistances properly. So I hope this 5 stocks, this 5 analysis of the stocks that we have is something that will help you in terms of your analysis. No, don't, again, as what I always say, don't use this as a gospel truth. You have to analyze it, draw the charts on your own, reference it on your own, because the greatest way for you to earn in the markets is that you know what you're getting into, you know what stocks you're buying, you know what stocks you are selling. Do not just buy just because I say it. Do not just avoid it also just because I say it. You better have a firm conviction of why you are doing what you are doing. All right, so the PSEi is still in a downtrend, DMC is still in a downtrend, you have JG Summit still in a downtrend, PLDT is also in a downtrend. Then you also have, what was the other stock? I forgot the other stock. Oh my gosh, what's the other stock? I mentioned PLDT, right? East West Bank is also in a downtrend. So 4 stocks, different industries, 2 conglomerates, 1 bank, and one telecom company, all in downtrends. Please avoid them. You have Bloom sideways, bouncing from support, sell at the resistance. Alright, that's it. I'll try to end this in something that's very, very encouraging for me. No, I was driving. I was with my taxi driver while we were going around the city kanina, and then he mentioned about investing in the Philippines. He mentioned to me that, oh Marvin, why are you living in the Philippines? Why don't you just transfer here in Singapore and just stay here and just enjoy here? And then I told him this, and this is something that's real to me. This is something that's I guess forms why I do what I do as well. I told him, I really want to make a difference in the Philippines, and the reason why I do what I do is I want to shape this generation and the next generation of Filipinos, that we may not be where Singapore is right now. The Philippines is far from where Singapore is, but at least we get to have a chance to steer our country to a better level, to steer our country to a place where it has never been before. And I believe that's something that we can do as investors, as entrepreneurs, that what we do with our money can actually shape a generation, and what we do with our time, how we invest it to the right people, will also spell the difference of how our country will be as well. And yun eh, I really believe that this is our shot. This is our lot in history to make a big difference. And I'll never stop going here to Singapore, because I know that as long as there are Filipinos believing that it can be done, I really believe that it can be done as well. So that's it for now. I'll make as much videos as I can here in Singapore to help you guys reach your goals of financial freedom. So that's it. It's hard lang while I was making these videos because I really didn't have as much sleep yet. So if I was blanking out while making it, please pardon the lack of sleep that I had. So woke up around 3 a.m. today, just 30 minutes sleep, slept around 2 hours in the plane, and that's basically it. So that's it for now from Singapore. I hope this video helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. God bless you, and have a great day ahead.